Hello everyone, I hope you're having a wonderful day. Today we have a Manassas campaign for you. Our first round is going to be the Eastwoods, followed up by round number 2 on the Crossley Creek. Before we get into that, thank you to our Patreon members for the support. If you'd like to support, go to the link in the description where you can get a live stream of all the broadcasts we do. You can advertise your regiment in the bottom of our videos and get an additional broadcast per week. Our regiments for tonight, on the CSA side, you have I Corps, Jackson's Division, Mississippi Brigade, 12th Virginia, and the 10th Tennessee. Whereas on the Union side, you have the Iron Brigade, Corn Brigade, Pennsylvania Army, 10th United States, Sussex Brigade, and 5th Virginia. First Delaware, who is in Sussex Brigade, did balance over to CSA side, so appreciate the help with that. With that being said, server pop tonight is 230, imbalance of 6 towards the Union side. No artillery on this map, so that imbalance of 6 is your infantry imbalance. Frontline reporters today. For your Union side, you have Ninja from the Pennsylvania Army, and on the opposite side, you have Seasoning from the 12th Virginia. Very appreciative of both of those guys being able to give us their frontline views. So, Eastwoods is a heavily biased map towards the CSA side. I'm pretty sure that CSA have a 24-25% ticket advantage. It's one of those two numbers. Don't remember which one, but regardless, that is a huge ticket lead to have on your opponent. It's similar to that of Westwoods. It's the exact same out, except Union attacks on that map versus this map with the CSA attack and Union defend. Union defend point back there. Now, historically, the Union kind of just sit back and wait for the CSA to go on top of them. However, Union looks to be playing aggressive. Union has the 14th Pennsylvania with the Springfield 61 and the 42nd Pennsylvania with the Sharps Carbine. So Union only has 3 companies, the Sharps Carbine being a special weapon. It means that regiment only has 1 company compared to most infantry regiments would have 2. Looks like 12th VA is going to try to charge into 5th NC here, who's pushed up with those Sharps. You can tell they're Sharps because the length of those weapons are half the length. And they suck at melee for that reason. So they throw them back pretty quickly. And looks like some of the CSA, or nearly the whole CSA, is starting to follow. Now, they can't use a Steam chat in this event. It's only via in-game text chat or the voice chat in-game. Meanwhile, on the CSA side of things, they have the 4th Alabama with the Enfield or the Springfield 55. And they have the 5th Texas with the Enfield, Springfield 55, and the Springfield 42. So that is buck and ball. So CSA has an advantage with the weaponry. The buck and ball, which acts as a shotgun, right, is going to be a lot more effective in the woods than a Sharps carbine, which, again, it's really good at shooting, but in the woods where chaos ensues, that buck and ball will be a lot better for you than a Sharps. Also, CSA is going to have 4 flags compared to the Union 3, as mentioned earlier. So, CSA, there's really no reason why CSA should lose this map in any situation unless Union can force CSA to cap the point and then do a counterattack and push the CSA into last stand, since at that point, if CSA had the point, they would be
I'm gonna shoot you
in the defender role, and then if they could possibly hit last stand. So
thank you, Tetsuko.
JD's pushed up on this left side, rest of the CSA kind of going right. 10th Tennessee is joining alongside JD. Union's kind of backing off now, taking a very different approach to what we saw at the beginning of the round. Maybe Union was just trying to test the CSA, seeing if they could, you know, take advantage of the CSA, catch them off guard, really. But that has not worked. You can tell with the ticket difference already. CSA is up almost about a 1/4 of a stage. It looks like CSA's taken barely any casualties. And Union is falling back already. Now they're falling back behind the point. Not that far. Union main spawn's somewhere all the way down there. I think it's where that one Union flag is. But meanwhile, further forward, some Union are engaging with the CSA. 5th VA is holding here on their own. It's a little surprising that they're up here. Maybe they're just trying to keep the CSA sitting further back, maybe see what they do, who knows. But Union wants to turn this into a defensive game. CSA's inching their way up.
Independent fire, they're to the left. West. Come on, boys, blow it on.
And 5th VA is going to get charged out or thrown off your shoulder. A couple 30th Ohio guys have moved up here as well. Union is on point.
Right.
ran to our forwards. Yeah, for me, our enemy.
There he is.
No call and be no peace.
So, for now, the CSA are wanting to get in a shootout. I mean, this is even working still. I mean, you can see Union's just dropping, and CSA's barely taking a hit. I mean, what do you even do if you're Union here? You could turtle, but it's not always the most entertaining thing. But definitely can be a way to win if you're the attackers, or defenders, rather. I mean, you could still win as an attacker in that situation, but it's also a little interesting. CSA's being very cautious with their approach, except for first Delaware.
But there's still one there.
This is not your company.
There's two.
Fall back, regulars, fall
Rip to
back.
that guy. Rip to his right hand. Just like watching Instagram Reels on February 26, 2025. You know what I'm talking about. You know, if you don't, well, it was a scary day.
I would love some banana bread right now.
So, Union's pushing up a little more on the CSA left. Maybe just trying to turn their side. Union is spreading out a fair amount, which is a little concerning for them.
Ready. Hey, put the flag.
Fuck you, rebel! Hey, your chances, you son of a bitch!
It's fascinating that the sharps for the Union are the ones that are getting the closest to the CSA. You would think that the guys that suck at melee would, and are really good at shooting, right? You would think that they would sit a little further away and get into a shootout, but maybe they for sure want to hit their shots and be close like this. So, regardless, Union's still dropping. CSA starting to drop as well. Well, that's the thing. Like,
Not doing too bad, boys.
Union's got to change up the strategy. They've tried being a little over aggressive. Now they're kind of sitting back a little bit, engaging in a shootout. CSA doesn't want to charge. Maybe they don't want to lose their flags in the wood line by Union territory. Who knows? And I mean, this is working perfectly fine right now. Generally, if you can get the defender down to engage by the 30-minute mark, you're on good track. And
Guys, back on the line.
Lions back here.
right now, it looks like Union's probably going to hit engage by the 33-minute mark, which would be very, very good for an attacker. Buffy and First Delaware pushing up a little more. A couple Union guys are behind the CSA team. 3rd California guys are not doing a whole lot, but you know, they might force some of the CSA to, you know, do this. This will at least put a little pressure off of their friendlies. Obviously, if they die, though, they'll take a few casualties, but you might be able to argue if it's worth it or not. But Union's got to, I don't know, I think Union's got a turtle. It's the only shot they've got on this map. They got to do it at the right time. Like, they need to do it right now before they hit engage. Because, right, if Union loses the point to CSA, CSA caps it right now. It's a 20-minute counterattack time. And if Union hits engaged, that counterattack time will go down to 12 minutes if CSA caps, taking losses at 7, breaking. CSA can cap the win off the rip. But if you're Union to pull off the last stand, retake the point, and win strategy, you need to do that at specific times in a match. And right now, you'd want to do it as Union as turtle back and force CSA to cap, because you have 20 minutes to force CSA down to last stand, and that would be, what?
Flag directly straight down this
3.5
line
morale
right there, boys.
stages. 20 minutes is plenty of time to do that. It's been done before. That's all I'll say. Although the concerning thing is that it's not like Union magically gains tickets when CSA takes the point. And so Union would have to be wary of their tickets and make sure they don't hit final push before they hit CSA in the last stand, because at that point the gold timer would then drop. That's something you never see in this
They're
game.
still trying to flank the right side of the line, dude.
I think.
But both sides are kind of spreading out to each other.
They're trying to move to that right side of the line.
You know, CSA, 12th VA, 1st Delaware have expanded down to this side of the map. Looks like I-Corps has joined them. And then Union, looks like PA, Corn Brigade have shifted that way. We saw 5th NC shifting over to this side. And then JD spread out a little more. Just kind of shifting and meeting the Union. So CSA's inching their way forward over there. Union's kind of backing off. I think JD's on point.
Yeah, contact in front of us.
Here they are.
West. Get Pulse out of here. Get out, sprint.
And obviously this is a campaign as well. I know it's earlier on in the campaign, but maybe other things could apply, who knows. So, Union hit engaged. About 33.5 minute mark. Was 30 seconds off, but that's not bad.
Come on, southeast.
Yeah, they got a big line down there. Alright, break your loads, boys. We're moving out southwest.
And you can see Union even shifting more. And that's the thing is these lines spread out more and more. The attackers have an opportunity here. Zooming out here, you can see Union has a long line. And what's our server pop again? I mean, what, 240? So 120 per side. I mean, it's a fair amount of guys, but I mean, Union's spreading 120 guys across a wider width. If CSA could coordinate this and move fast, they could try to turn and hit one of these flanks. As such, they could also try to dive bomb through the center if they wanted to, although Union could pincer them from both sides, like collapse in, which you see a lot on Pry House, for example. But if CSA doesn't maneuver like that, they could sweep through the Union. Obviously, it partially depends on how fast Union reacts, but
They're shooting from their house too.
even if Union is slow to react, or even if Union reacts fast for that matter, CSA will have wiped some of the Union, and CSA is a big blob, could probably outnumber the Union to defeat him in detail. So
How was that, boys?
Pick it up.
You saw the fucking takes on that? Holy shit.
and there is some flanking going on. CSA's not really committing to a charge, though. I mean, outside of that 5th NC push with the Sharps that pushed up right on top of the CSA at the beginning of the round. CSA obviously charging them out there because that was in their line to where they wanted to go, but outside of that, CSA has not really pushed this that much.
Tennessee, our flag's down.
And again, it's not like they necessarily need to push the pace. It's just the odds of CSA losing if they do push the pace are pretty low. And I like the much more aggressive side of this game. Because outside of maps where there's an extreme bias, which even then you can kind of question it at times, sitting and shooting does not deal enough ticket drain on either side to do much. You're not going to be able to throw someone out of position because the flag spawns someone back in every 5 seconds. It's hard to outpace that, outshoot that. And then also with tickets, it doesn't deal a whole lot. Because when they made that flag change from 10 to 5 seconds, they also made it so that each death was worth 20% less tickets. And so
Ninja, I love you.
it's a lot more difficult to win by sitting and shooting your opponent. I almost wonder if the Union should try to do more of an open order. I mean, they're kind of doing it, open order being like there's some distance between the men, which they're kind of doing right now. There's some distance, but not as much as you could. Maybe they just want to stay more tight. But I think Union should try to spread out a little more. I mean, Union's really trying to play the time game by CSA kind of sitting back and not trying to charge the Union. It makes it possible for Union to maybe play time on this map. Now, I say maybe because later in the match, CSA will eventually charge. They will. And things will kind of pick up from there. But But assuming that the current pace continues outward, which probably won't happen. We'll see, though.
Son. Hi. Hi. How are you?
Yo, what the
I'm doing good. What about you?
Nitro.
What the fuck are you doing?
I love you, Nitro.
Kentucky.
Wait, Nitro. Nitro.
You know, the initial voice I heard, that was not what I was expecting. Yep. You got Union over there. It's 5th NC. There's the Sharps, right? You got some CSA going really far back, and I think Union's reacting, and Union's actually pulling off even further. Again, kind of trying to draw this out, try to maybe force CSA to cap. I mean, Union's down a little bit on tickets. It's probably a half morale stage. It doesn't look like that right now. However, at the start and at the end of morale stages, it's like the bar moves slower. It's like the bar is a lot wider than what we see. Which, I don't know if that's true or not. It most certainly feels like that after watching so many matches. I wish it was maybe something that's fixed, because things can kind of be underestimated or overestimated based on that. Regardless, though, CSA can engage. Union basically falling back. Maybe trying to see if CSA will cap. And CSA is actually inching their way forward down the center side right now.
Fire shot, fall back. Fall back.
Alright, fire, fall back after shot, fall back after shot.
So Union mostly just, I mean, trying to at least get in invisible range and then fall back. Maybe giving CSA some nice shots, but also giving them some nice shots as well. But Union really needs to play for time. Unless they can't see the CSA where they're at, and maybe that's why they're running for it. I mean, we can kind of guesstimate this.
Hello.
I mean, you for sure don't see the CSA. I mean, you maybe see the smoke of the CSA side, but... That being said, Union would want an early cap. It would give them a chance to regain half morale stage. The thing is, though, is I would be overly confident if I were officering CSA. I think CSA could hold this just because they got the buck and ball. Union has sharps. CSA cannot respawn Union. I really think it is a scenario where the CSA could win. Now, looking at this, it looks like it's either the MB guys running through the point, or there's these I-Core guys here. Point stops being fully capped, so... Well, it's teetering back up. Who is it?
It's someone else in another company.
I mean, I don't know if first Delaware's on point. They're on and then off. I mean, based on what I'm seeing in CSA chat, and obviously you could hear it with one of the guys down here, is that CSA doesn't want to cap. And, you know... Yeah, I see. I think this map is one of the more fine maps to cap, even if you have a ticket lead. Just because I think CSA is just, they have that buck and ball, and every time I've watched this when CSA cap, Union rarely, if ever, retake. But obviously, it depends on the battle. But it's probably the safer option to not cap. CSA's got over 25 minutes to hit Union down a morale stage in a third to breaking. It's a smart idea. You know, either option works. The riskier option is definitely to cap the point, but you could potentially finish this round a little quicker if you want to save time. But obviously there's that risk of Union retaking the point and then regaining a crap ton of tickets. And I mean, again, CSA is just slowly like inching their way forward as Union gives up ground, and they're still not charging them out.
The man just got cut down.
Make sure we spread
Trooper,
it out.
let's roll.
Make sure
Trooper.
we spread it out. Don't clump up.
So
here.
once Union do hit take in losses, if TSA do cap at that point, it'd be a 7-minute counterattack instead of 12.
Hold on over here, dog. What do you
I
got?
was tabbed
Everybody go
out, I
fuck
have
Doug.
no
That
idea.
stuff moves. It's what
Are you
he's got.
playing PUBG for real?
No, I said I was
You're playing
tabbed
PUBG,
out.
right? Yeah, to play PUBG.
Maybe, I don't know yet.
That's great promotion for this game. Why are you alt tabbed? Were you playing PUBG? You know, enjoy a few pub matches with Doug every once in a while on PUBG. PUBG's normally, I mean, the Battle Royale I play more is Fortnite, but I haven't even touched that one in a long time. I mostly just play that to stay connected with friends. But I want to talk about the game for me, NHL, baby. That's all the way. So
It's starting to fall back again.
Union is still just slowly backing up. They're really trying to draw this game out. But I don't know if it's going to work. I mean, 23 minutes left, a morale stage and such. It's...
Independent fire!
Independent fire, line them up.
Aim low, boys. Aim low.
Spread
aim
out,
low.
boys.
Not aim
Spread
high.
out.
Aim low.
Come on.
Spread it out on the line. You clump up to the left, shift right.
Look at their tickets. Aim it low, boys.
Come
We'll
on,
get
you
them in
clumping.
this.
Spread it right, spread it right.
Spread it right. Shoulder to shoulder, boys.
Fill this line, fill this line.
Guys, we got a line on the ground. Back up a bit. Fill out on this line.
I really wonder if Union's going to try to stay the course, or if they're just going to kind of play this out.
In between these fucking two kill zones.
That's the billion-dollar question I have.
Oh, they're danger close. North.
They are about to hit taking losses. Looks like there's some chatter in the CSA chat, at least from one person, asking about a potential cap at this point. I mean, if you're CSA, you've got 22 minutes. You have plenty of time. I mean, you can see the CSA attack line is basically on, if not past the point. So even if trying to hit Union on the braking took a lot of time, CSA could still kind of cap whenever they want. They got plenty of time.
Hold fire in my face right here.
That's them. Hold here. Keep firing.
Battle line.
Hey John, I'm gonna turn off the one who's out here, dude.
So, but you know, this is, you know, Union's actually drawing this match out pretty well. I mean, again, right? So I said 30 minutes is when you would want to hit the defending team down to engage as an attacker. At that point, you need to knock them down every 10 or so minutes to kind of be at okay pace, and that's what we got about right now.
You can see there's smoke southeast.
Eventually, it's going to get to a point where CSA is going to hit out of bounds. I don't know exactly where that is. I don't know how far Union can fall back either. Union's about at their main spawn level, if not maybe a little further back. I mean, that guy definitely is, but... But this is probably one of the better played rounds from Union. And again, Union's not doing a whole lot. So, it looks like CSA is capping right now. Just so we can clarify, I mean, we don't have a cap boundary. I think I-Core's probably on it right now. They seem to be the most likely candidate. Maybe some 12th VA guys here. I don't necessarily know. But, so CSA is going to cap. They waited to take in losses, it appears. 7 minutes on the clock. Now, if Union retakes the point, let's say right now they would regain over half morale stage in tickets. Obviously, CSA is going to contest that, though.
Hey, Dirty Dan, cover
But
my
Union's
ass,
going to
man.
get about 3-ish attempts at this point.
I got you.
And yeah, you would hope Union would be maybe moving a little quicker. I feel like Eastwoods is one of those maps where, as a defender on an event, you would want to figure out your plan for what happens if a team counterattacks beforehand. I feel like that's a very huge possibility. And it looks like that plan is to maybe go off on this right side. Maybe it just took them a moment to communicate and chat, which always is fine. But when you only get 7 minutes on a map that's not biased towards you in any way, every second's going to count.
You're welcome.
So, Union gathering up. Some Union are already pushing up. It's PA's going forward. I don't know if they're trying to see where the CSA is or what they're doing, but they might draw attention to... Oh, no, they're just hiding in the bushes and the rocks. Except for Ninja Gears. Nice shot. JD's starting to turn that way. I don't know if they see him. Rest of the Union still kind of sitting back. A minute and a half is gone off this counterattack. PA's trying to sneak around here. CSA's trying to find him. I don't know if PA's acting as a distraction. Union still has not moved. What are they waiting for?
Yes, baby. Minutes out.
Minutes ready. That's right.
Here we go.
Prepare to charge.
I mean, props to Union. At least they're getting organized. They want to be together when they're doing this.
No sprinting. We're just walking.
But a little risky when you kill 2 minutes off of that clock. I mean, it's a balancing game of spending time to reform versus trying to go in and actually attack. It's not always easy to decide, and we'll talk about in a few minutes if this was the right decision or not. But Union's going to go in. PA might have alerted the CSA to what direction you're going, and JD was kind of turning that way. They are now going to be hit by the whole Union team. So you got some Union that are streaking around, not going in with this initial charge, which is a hair confusing. Flag down. It's a CSA flag. I don't know if Union brought their flags in, which, you know, I won't be surprised if the Union flags are with this group that's still kind of flanking around. There's two. What? They only have two going around here. There is a down flag marker here. I think that's probably a Union flag. Ah, so Union was trying to be a little sneaky there. They charged into the side of CSA with most of their team, but kept the flags running with the regiment. They're all respawning in except for that one group without a flag, and they're going to hit the whole other side of CSA. This flag meta has really been used over the past week and a half. Been talking about it for months, and it's finally nice to see it being used in these matches. Although we'll see if it works. I like the idea.
Let's go, let's go.
You got killed, dude.
Get him, gamer.
I think a huge part for Union is having one of those flags down. I don't know if it was the Sharps flag or not. It's a little hard to tell. I see 5th NC guys respawning, so I'm guessing that that one of the flags that was down was the normal infantry, which is the one flag you don't want down as the Union here. But CSA will hold this in the end. You know, good effort though from the Union side. I really like the strategy. I like the idea. I like that this kind of stuff is being tested, because as these server pops increase, you're eventually going to get the point where the defenders can hold the whole width of the map. And the only way you're going to be able to do something is if you just brain rot charge. That's the only way to, you know, do something with these high pops where they can defend the whole width of the map. So I like that new stuff is being tried out now. It started with JD and the SSL event where they did it on Garland Stand. Then we saw Twin Banners do it on Cox's Push. And Sussy Brigade, which has Twin Banners in it, is their side's doing it now tonight. So I think it's a good idea to try out, because the thing is that when you have, we'll explain that after this charge, after this Union wave goes in. Looks like CSA will probably hold this, because again, this is one of the Union companies here just going in on its own. They did pick up their flag, it looks like, but it goes down pretty quick. CSA is going to hold that. Less than a minute left on the clock, and Union's just going to streamline in. That's the thing, is when we had 100 to 200 man servers, you could have a lot of deception because the defenders could not defend the width of the map. Meaning you could go around, you could try to get a flank. It was, you know, you could think, be a little innovative, but when you get these high pop servers, you can't deceive your opponent anymore by trying to go around the flank. You can't go out of bounds for too long to try to deceive your opponent.
Get that flag
So
good. Get this flag up and keep
by
it up.
trying to bait the whole defending team to go to one side by charging in with everyone but your flags, and then bringing the flags on the other side so that you can try to get around them, you know, I think it's a good idea. And here's the thing too, is that if this strategy starts emerging as something good, eventually it might force the defenders to make a decision where it's like, okay, is this charge bringing their flags or not? We don't know, and then they might screw up because of that, and the defenders are backpedaling. Also, it'll force the defenders to look to see if the attackers are actually bringing their flags now, because up to this point, you didn't really have to think. You're like, oh, if the attackers are charging, they're most likely bringing their flags with them, and if they aren't bringing their flags, the flags are probably just sitting back so they can respawn closer to where the fighting's happening, right? You're not thinking, oh, the flag is going to go around and try to flank me. So I think flag awareness is going to probably start shooting through the roof here as time goes on, at least trying to figure out where your opponent's flags are. But, I mean, Eastwoods, it went about as you would expect. I mean, well done, CSA. They played that slow and methodical, waited for the Union hit taking losses, then they capped the point, and it's really hard for Union to break through. I like the attempt. Unfortunately, doing something fancy like that gives you really only one attempt at it, and unfortunately it didn't work. Doesn't help when one of the big important flags was knocked down. Anyways, we'll see you all shortly for round number 2. And here we are with the start to round number 2. A few minutes late. It's like hooker's push, you know. It takes Union some time to get over here. But this is Crossley Creek. Looking at our server count right now, it's 245 inbounds. Is 1 towards the Union side. Union did not bring artillery. CSA have 10. So that inbounds is 11 infantry-wise in Union's favor, which I'm sure they're going to appreciate. But Crossley Creek, it's not too difficult of a map to understand. I mean, Union couldn't go down this CSA left side because there is a little opening here in the bushes. However, as you can see, that's kind of an open field. So Union might put some pressure. They have some defilades and a little cover over there they can use. They have some snake fences in the center. But generally, you see Union like to attack over here, which is why you have the bulk of the CSA. It allows the Union to get to the CSA defensive line and the point of contention with having some cover like the houses, the barns, and the trees here. So, weapons on this map. Union has the Irish regiments, the 69th New York with the Springfield 42, so they got Buck and Ball, and the 20th Massachusetts with the Enfield. And the CSA side, on the contrary, have the 33rd Virginia with the Enfield and the Lorenz, and the 8th Louisiana with the Enfield and the Springfield 55. So, with that all being said, Union has an advantage with tickets. We don't know that exact amount. However, we know after the first day of these maps being released, the developers lowered the tickets of the attackers on all the new maps by 15%. It was a blanket reduction because the attackers were doing a little thing called winning, and they were winning by a lot. So it seems to have worked out for the most part. A lot of the maps have been a lot more competitive since that change. Some still need to be adjusted, but we probably won't see any map adjusting until the company tool is released and been out for a while. When will that be released? That was a very, very good question. Anyways, Union's starting to push up on this right side here. Looks like 5th and C. We saw being the Sharps last round are with the Sharps. They're now just pushing up and kind of skirmishing. A little interesting. Wolf VA and JD are moving into counter CSA. A lot of those CSA shots went over the heads of these Union guys. 5th and C looks kind of shocked right now. They're kind of frozen. What are they doing?
They don't know we're here. We're still...
No, we definitely know y'all fucks are here.
Alright, go back. You back.
But 5th and C, I think, tried to use the trees as cover. Didn't do a whole lot. However, it distracted. It pulled CSA attention away from Union trying to push up center now. You got Twin Banners, PA. Some Corn Brigade guys as well. Remember, Union didn't take artillery, which is right there. It's a dog water spot. And Union, actually, they're not pushing up with the flag on the 5th NC didn't do that, but they brought their flag up this time around. Looks like the 69th flag, so Union's got buckaball. Is Union going to push up on the far side? They're not. They're sitting back so far. That's going to really allow CSA to react to these Union movements well. Union flag down there. Union's making some headway on this side, though, as CSA starting to realize that Union's hitting from their center as well.
Ah, fuck. Sorry, Milk.
But already, tickets already down quite even. Union do get that flag out in the end. You got a couple more melees up here.
Move it up, move it up, move it
But
up, move it up.
no, nice little pushes to Union. You want to get aggressive at the start. And Union's pushing everywhere where you wouldn't expect it. And, you know, they didn't gain any ground, but it looks like Union didn't really want to do that. Why are they pushing up with this flag? What are they doing with this flag? Did they communicate that they didn't win that? Because
Kill the flag. Don't kill the flag. Don't kill the
looks like Webb is trying to run out of bounds here, which is not a bad idea. As long as he cuts to this direction, I think it's a good idea. Yeah, so that's going to despawn, which Union spawn is all the way back here, right? I mean, it's taking me like 10-15 seconds to just sprint and spectate all the way over here, but imagine how long it takes for them to move. That's why we started at the a little before the 41-minute mark instead of off the rip. But overall, tickets slightly in CSA's favor. But yeah, I'm a little surprised Union did not push up on this left side. You would think that, you know, if Union just mass pushed up, they would pressure a lot. The CSA in the center were kind of caught off guard. I mean, CSA from here did push up, and they were able to hold their side. But imagine if this group pushed it up this way, and then the Union over here collapsed downward here. Like, that would have been a bang-bang play for Union. Perfect. Over here, CSA was just kind of caught off guard. They didn't even realize the Union was making some good progress there. But for the most part, a lot of Union are moving out of main. No one has down flags, and CSA slightly up on tickets. So Union's not in a bad spot, even though they're slightly down on tickets. You could still win these games even while down a whole morale stage as an attacker. It doesn't mean it happens, though.
Do not let them Union respawn. Do not let them make babies.
But with that all said, we return. So, wonder if Union's going to try to repeat that same thing again. I'm sure Union's going to do some variant of it. It's very risky for Union to charge and bring their flags up on these maps just because their main spawn is so far away. It's like Cooker's Splish. You got to be really cognizant. You got to be cognizant. Oh my goodness. We need this speech, but you really got to think about the flags.
Mine.
It's like Hooker's Push. You can't push them up. You got to know where they're at, or else, I mean, if you lose them, it can be very difficult to kind of recover. And these are one of the maps that is the case. So Union kind of forming up on both sides again. I really hope Union pushes up as a team instead of just kind of going in their own little pods, because that's going to allow CSA as a defense to react to you. Which CSA has I would say overall responded pretty quickly to Union attacks. I mean, you should when Union has to cross an open field to do that.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. I moved for you? I don't even get an excuse me or a thank you, and then you steal my spot? Are you fucking kidding?
Sorry. My bad.
Quite frankly, I don't think there's enough gratitude here. Keep sending lead downrange.
Is he trying to tell Donald Trump over there?
So Union, there they go. You know, it's really surprising that Union's pressuring this side. 5th NC is going here again. And this might hit Union down to engage.
I shot your officer, but this worked.
Fuck out of here.
Which they're not bringing their flags up, which makes sense. It looks like they're just trying to... See, I really like this idea, because you got a fair amount of CSA that are over here, and when 5th NC goes over here, it's going to distract CSA a fair amount. But I don't understand why Union's not going. It's like Union's not working together. They're not bouncing off each other. It's like groups are trying to do their own thing. It feels like Union is so close to taking something or doing something, but they're not.
That's 14 on flag. 14 on flag. Hard more.
But at least for now, both sides are kind of... Oh my... Oh. You know, I was going to be like, what is that guy doing? Actually, it's kind of surprising the amount of defilade that is here. So Union could kind of push out here into the open field and use that defilade to their advantage if they'd want to. Normally they don't do that, though. But I find it most surprising that... here's the thing, right? I mentioned at the beginning that Union usually charges from this side here, and Union, they rarely charge over here. This is more of where Union sit and shoot. The sides are flipped. This side is charging a lot, and this side is sitting and shooting. You would think that they wouldn't want to sit and shoot as much over here because there's a lot of obstacles and cover that you have. It just makes it hard to have shooting be effective. 10th US made the open order, or I don't know if they made it, but they really perfected it. 10th US is some of the best shots, at least from what I recall. And why aren't they over there engaging in a shootout with the CSA at long distance? That's just one question I have. But with that all being said, Union first to go to engage. CSA is almost there. Not there yet. A couple of Union guys are using the little barns here. Why is there a Union flag up here?
Why did I spawn here? Why the fuck did I spawn here?
Did Union charge here a moment ago? And they must have. Because I don't know why a flag would be there. I mean, I don't... It doesn't make sense why Union would only charge with PA and them. I mean, that's a smaller group, at least compared to the whole Union team. I don't know why they wouldn't charge with more. And why would you bring a flag up there if you're only going to go in with 10 to 15 guys?
They just got shit on, bro.
A lot of that doesn't make sense. It's just, again, it's like Union's so close to figuring something out, at least from what I'm seeing, and nothing's clicking. I mean, there's not in a bad spot. I just want to be clear on that, but it's like it feels like they're so close to having grand opportunities. Anyways, looks like they're finally going to go here on this side.
Up and over, let's get ready to fucking kill him.
Now, are they charging on the other side? They are.
Right behind you. Right behind you.
Back off the fence.
So Union just kind of mass charging, which, again, this is poor execution from the Union team. This is poor planning as well. I mean, they're at least holding some ground here on the corner. Union's getting destroyed. The whole CSA team wants the flag. They care more about that than actually getting Union infantry.
Fucked him.
Union actually doing surprisingly well over here. I almost wish the Union guys would have charged more center on this side to try to maybe pull some CSA defenders off of this side. The reason why the charge on that side was so bad was because Union just kind of mass charged into the CSA line. Whenever you charge in this game, if you can hit the enemy's side and turn the flank, that should be what you want to do. You should not want to just mass charge and hit the whole enemy line at the same time. Which, again, Union can get about over here. They can turn this side and then flank and push this way. That's how I think Union should try to charge on this map. And it's not like CSA is highly condensed in any particular spot, especially on this side. I mean, they are kind of in that corner, but you don't need to turn that. But in the end, Union didn't lose any flags. I don't know if the flag despawned over there. It looked like they were able to keep the flag in bounds and get it back, so we'll play it on that part. Union's slightly down on tickets still.
I got him! I got him! Focus, focus! Hey, they're just sitting behind the fucking bar!
But Union on this side spreading out. And here's the thing too, is that the longer Union sits behind this barn, it's going to give CSA more and more time to figure out what the Union is doing. And so CSA is going to send reinforcements down here, or maybe they might try to throw Union out of this position completely. And it's kind of getting to that point. I mean, Union flags are running out. It's at that point now that Union's chance at this side has been lost.
I just heard glass break. Did you hear that?
So some CSA, like this officer here, are trying to go after, but Union's going to get enough respawns. I mean, if CSA did a mass charge, not that they necessarily know, but they could get Union flags, and that'd be more devastating for Union. I mean, CSA at ticket lead is growing more and more in their favor.
Oh, Agrippa died. Ha ha. Agrippa's down.
I need to kill the real Agrippa now, not his fucking clones.
Got a couple more CSA guys inching forward.
How did you miss that?
So Union reforming, they've got a lot of time. I mean, they're, you know, that's the crazy thing is, I really wonder what this ticket imbalance is, because despite Union not playing great, they're still in a good spot.
You see me fucking tattoo that dude?
Good work, Spike. Hey, who was that guy who told us? Was that from 10th? We should give that guy a thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, I think.
So Union as a whole looks to be concentrating on the CSA right. Now the CSA reinforcements that did move over here, it looks like they're kind of center, but here's the thing, right? CSA is kind of realizing what's up, and they're starting to shift over here, so Union's going to have to pick up the pace. Now, it's not like they necessarily know CSA is moving, but when you're attacking, right, and 12th VA over there is like, huh, there's no Union over here, and they're probably talking with their friendly, seeing a lot of Union on this side. They might be like, oh crap, we might need to get ready for this. So
Holding fire.
and here goes Union. They're going to go up and over.
Open over.
It looks like they're going to go. Now, here's the thing. Whenever you have a fence or like a stone wall, I really wish everyone would hop up and over and then go. Because look at how spread out the Union kind of is right now. I mean, it's going to be a little difficult, but Union, are they going to mass charge, or are they going to hit this side? It looks like they're going to go for this side, which I can appreciate. Although they're spreading kind of far out here. Look how, like, Union's trickling in. CSA reinforcements are collapsing in as we speak. But at least Union's doing a little better than before.
Dead, proceed forward.
But Union do take that corner. CSA are trying to kind of retake their line, slowly pushing from the center. You got a fair amount of Union. I don't know why is their Union waiting back there? I mean, these guys are respawning, right? But why is there a lot of Union sitting far back? CSA will retake that line. I mean, seriously, what is, like, Corn Brigade, 10th US, 5th VA, what are these guys doing back here? Now they're starting to go. I don't know why they didn't go in initially. Or maybe their flag was back there and they all charged in. Regardless, I don't know why they're sitting back there. Because now CSA has retaken their defensive line and they're going to have a moment to reform. I mean, you still have a fair amount of CSA sitting back. It looks like they're going to start moving down to the corner. There they come again. Union's really trying to take the side and turn that flank. And CSA, it looks like they're trying to come around that side. Tickets are still growing more and more in CSA's favor here. Union officers are putting some lead in on the CSA. CSA is kind of sitting around. I don't know if they necessarily realize their flanks being folded like this.
How many goddamn yanks do I gotta kill?
At least 3 more. Like this guy right here, he's dead. This guy, he's gonna be dead. Let's go, boys.
So Union's taking that corner. They're trying to form a line with this barn, kind of like that. CSA's kind of making a new defensive line on this side. But Union's made at least a little ground. You can give them that. The tickets look to be maybe slightly going back in Union's favor. It's kind of hard to tell. Looks like some of the CSA are trying to maybe retake this corner, but they need a little more guys than that. They do have 2 officers there, to be frank. These long kind of charges, though, are probably going to be helpful for the attackers. I mean, it's a lot of spread out in skirmishing out of line deaths. And normally, these type of engagements really favor the attackers. Because defenders have less tickets overall. It's going to be much more impactful on the defenders than it is the attacker. Obviously, as an attacker, you don't want that, but Union's actually starting to make a little defensive line here. CSA is not throwing the Union out. And if we were ever playing for time here, CSA is starting to lose that game. And they need to start winning on tickets, which they're not really doing that. Here comes a CSA push, though. 12th VA is pushing up 10th Tennessee as well. And they're making, I mean, they go for the flags, which is nice, but again, not enough guys to break through the Union lines here.
Yeah, Texas, you son of a bitch! You tell him, Johnny!
And Union's going to hold that, and they're actually starting to hit this CSA line. Now you got some more, looks like some JD I-Corps guys inching forward. Both sides are going to hit breaking. Union might actually not be the first one to hit breaking. Union is kind of weak. CSA is just letting the Union stay here and harass them. I don't understand. I mean, we could see up here that CSA could just wipe the Union if they just all went over and in, but I don't know why. I mean, maybe CSA is just trying to play a containment game. They're losing on the ticket front right now. Tickets have been going back in Union's favor. Someone's got to realize that and be like, oh crap, this isn't working. We should really try to throw them off. Because if you throw them off, you have maybe a chance to get that ticket lead back, but also, well, Union actually hits breaking first, but you also have a chance to get Union flags down, which will really throw a wrench in the Union plans. CSA taking back the original position. They're starting to overwhelm the Union.
Bye, lock. Bye, lock.
Kill him! Kill him while they're in retreat, boys! Kill him while they're in fucking retreat! They're all right there! Shoot him up! Shoot him up!
I just fucking bought him. I fucking bought the fuck out of him. Let's go.
And now they're going to charge in. Union just needs to get the flags out. One might get out right now. And Kip Tap run the flag out of bounds. Smart play there. I think it's PA and 5th NC tonight. They've done good with their flags, but those flags are down. They'll be down until about the 13-minute mark. But, you know, the nice part about that whole engagement being so long is that Union side has 18 minutes to kind of do what they want. And they can kind of play this slow if they want. They don't need to go in right away. They can wait for the flags to respawn and then start to do stuff.
Individuals, we are brittle, like a stick. Easily breakable, but together, we are a collection of sticks. A totaling of a faggot.
Back over here now.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Wild. I knew that was coming too.
But yeah, we will be we'll be here for a moment. I was watching my team's hockey game and we just lost. It was so sad. Due to some BS ref crap too. Good thing there's no refs in War of Rights, right? Now imagine if there were refs in War of Rights. So, with that all being said, I mean, the problem for Union on big map like these as well is that Union might just wait for the flags at main. That might not be a bad idea, because the problem is that maps like this are so big that by the time Union actually gets back up to the front, those flags are going to despawn. So maybe waiting back might not be a bad idea. Make sure nothing goes too crazy. And so we still got about 2 or 3 minutes here. You got some Union guys moving forward. I mean, we know of the 3 flags that are down. I don't know if that flag has despawned. I mean, I would assume it's back here if it is despawned, which it's not. Union's kind of... It's weird. Some of Union's pushing forward, some's not. I mean, that was a PA guy with that flag. I mean, 5th VA guys are up here. They don't have a flag. A lot of Union over here. 8th Ohio. I don't know where that 4th Union flag is. We're playing a game of hide and go seek right now. We got 2 minutes. Where did that flag go? Maybe I'm just not looking good enough. Union's just kind of living it out here.
Like a lot of morale into the men is really fucking cool.
It's a good story.
We need the slave update. Maybe we can bring some child wives in here too.
We defeated slavery. We're fucked.
Let's make this really
Off. That's a good.
So, still got about a minute or so until that. Where's that flag at? And so, looks like it's still there. It's like they're just waiting for the moment to happen. I mean, I'm surprised some of the Union have pushed up. I assume they're communicating with the in-game chat, but hopefully Union's able to come out coordinated with all of this. I assume they will. I mean, if you don't come out of this 5-minute wait moment and and you aren't organized, that is that would be really poor play on Union's part, which Union's kind of played iffy tonight, so it wouldn't necessarily be surprising if that's the case. I mean, there's one of the Union flags. That's probably the flag that was down. I mean, maybe the flags have despawned by this point. But it's going to take the Union another 3 or 4 minutes to get out and get settled. And, I mean, what? It's going to be the 8-9 minute mark? Which, I mean, it's definitely enough time, but it kind of makes it a crunch. I mean, that was a huge wipe from CSA. Maybe you could have wished for CSA to maybe do it sooner, but maybe the situation would be different. There'd be a lot more time on that clock, but also each side would have a lot more tickets if the CSA didn't wait to charge the Union out there. But I mean, this map is on Hooker's level of it takes time for Union to reform. It's a similar thing with Hooker's push, right? Union lose their flags eventually when they push up, and then they respawn, go back up to the fight, and by that point, when they get back up, the flags despawn, and it's like, well, what the heck do we do now? We can't go up and get the flags because they're by CSA line, so Union is starting to move out. Quite a bit disorganized right now, but again, we still probably got a few minutes before that really happens.
Xbox. No, that's too cartoony. Take an aim.
But looks like we maybe, I mean, you see some skirmishing. You have one CSA guy up here, Diefendorf. He's probably scouting for his friendlies. I don't know if they're going to hit a whole lot just because, again, it's kind of a little defilade here. You know, I haven't noticed that this was a defilade until tonight. I mean, it's kind of extreme, too. And that's the thing, too, is that when you're watching with a spectator view, things look flat. Like, this looks flat. Like, Cook's countercharge looks like a flat map. But it's not. I mean, there's enough of a defilade to hide a body, like a height of a body. Oh, this sounds bad, but but no, when you're standing up, the defilade can block you. You can maybe even get 2 people high, and it still covers most of you, which is insane to think about. So, Union's grouping up. They've got, I would say, about a third of their team pushing down Union left. You got the majority, though, pushing down Union right. And Union, being headed by 5th and C, is going to go. CSA already look like they've seen the Union. Union's kind of going spread out as well. Oh my goodness, that's out of bounds. Nice arty shot. Now, it didn't kill a lot of people, but it knocks down a lot of people, and it disrupts the charge. So that, you know, is pretty dang good. Some of the CSA countercharging this. Union brought 2 flags with them, but CSA's got a hold. This ticket gap is growing heavily now in CSA's favor. which Union's not going anywhere else. I mean, they have a couple charging up center, but I mean, that's part of the thing is, Union's going to lose 2 flags as well. They're not going to get those back for the rest of the game. Rest of the Union's bonsai center. Here's the thing, right? Union consistently this round has charged, but they haven't done it as a team across the whole map. The problem is CSA can react with their whole team and stop charges here. Like, this will not work for Union.
I was gonna let you get it on, but my friend stabbed you. I'm sorry.
Why did the Union not go in together? Unless it was a miscommunication or maybe a mistimed. And they are taking the point. Eventually the CSA over here got to realize what's up. There's no way Union just takes us from here, right? Union, some guys running the flags out of bounds. Smart play on those guys' part.
Brace here, brace here.
Don't let that flag get away. Don't let that flag get away.
Dump him.
And you can see the CSA are now starting to make their way. Union any second is going to hit final push.
Guys, left, look left. Hold by to the left. Oh, nice.
Oh, canister just ripped through and killed like 5 or 6 Union guys again. All right, a couple nice CSA arty shots here at the end of the game. Now the question is Union going to hit final push? If so, that clock's going to drop about to 4 minutes. Which you got 2... Oh my goodness, that last guy got killed. Yeah, it dropped down to 4 minutes. Union's down 2 flags right now. Yikes. You know... if CSA pulls this off, which it's looking like they are going to, this really well played from CSA. I mean, CSA, it's not like they had to do a whole lot this round because Union kind of sat back and Union kind of charged and CSA defeated in detail and reacted well. I wish CSA would have maybe reacted quicker here, but maybe if CSA thought they were in a good spot, killing Union. They were losing slightly on tickets, but eventually they were able to overcome Union, which is a little surprising, but I guess CSA has a nice defensive perimeter here, and Union doesn't have much here. Union has to get up into the corner and get in the face of CSA and take this quickly, which the Union didn't do. But, I mean, CSA didn't lose a whole lot of tickets compared to the Union. They lost some. And the tickets kind of even back out, but CSA was eventually able to throw Union off, and they've really kind of shut the rest of this game down. And Union hasn't been able to do much. I mean, Union has 2 downed flags here. Union's kind of waiting for reinforcements. They're going to have to charge center to get these 2 flags back up. And the issue for Union, too, is you still have hunks of guys coming in from main spawn, albeit they're starting to trickle, but... This is, heck of a game from CSA so far. You actually have some Union pushing down this Union left side.
You know, I always play ogres in Warhammer.
So, 2 minutes left on the clock. Again, Union has infinite tickets, but... you saw that time go in half. CSA wants to hit last stand. They can't respawn, but I mean, CSA's not in last stand. They're going to get a respawn wave in by time. Union's got 1 charge to win. They have to decisively win. We haven't seen that from Union this round. It's kind of surprising, especially since Union gets buck and ball and CSA doesn't.
Some more. Oh, fuck.
So, nice little flank here from 10th US and IB. They're going to get some shots in. A little over a minute left. And here comes Union 5th NC going down this side. They've gone down this side the whole time. Might as well go down it one more time, right? CSA already, you can see him with the gun on the left side. But 5th NC doesn't break through out. Here comes the rest of the Union. They get one of those flags up. I don't know if the other one got picked up or despawned. Artie is going off like crazy. Union, CSA at last stand. Union just needs more bodies on point when the clock hits 0 to win. Or force an overtime, and then they have to keep tapping it to win. CSA just needs more bodies on point once after the clock hits 0, and they will win the game automatically. But, I mean, a lot of CSA guys, I mean, how many are left? You got a couple, maybe 20 or so CSA guys that are moving up. Union charge is being slowly whittled out. Union holding the line as well. By Union holding the line, I mean completely collapsing. CSA is the one that's actually holding the line. Who would have thought? But it looks like CSA is going to win this game. Really well done from CSA. And Union play was not great. Whenever Union decided to get aggressive in charge, which is a good idea, they always did it independently. You had 5th and C going up the CSA left, Union right, and then you had Union going in the center after 5th and C got wiped, and the Union on the left side wouldn't even charge CSA right. It's like there were, again, many moments of opportunity for Union to have bang-bang plays. Why is that gun glitching out on the back left side? They had many opportunities to have these bang-bang plays to take advantage of CSA, but they just didn't do it. Now, is that a miscommunication, or was that part of the plan? I don't necessarily know, but it's unfortunate to watch. But, you know, you live and you learn. Nice part about War of Rights, you can always come back and do it again. Albeit, I don't know when the next time these guys will play this map. Anyways, thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. If you want to support the channel more, we have a Patreon where you can get a live stream of all the broadcasts we do. You can advertise your regiment in the bottom of our videos and get an additional broadcast per week. Besides that, though, we have Discord, merch, other stuff in the description. And I appreciate you all. We will see you all in the next one. Have a wonderful rest of your night.